Hello, tea friends. This is Barb Gully from Barb's Tea Service, and we are back with our podcast courtesy on TV Studios. And I'm here, as always, with studio engineer, co-host, and arm candy, Chris Gully.
Here I am. It's last few days been hot time in the city.
It's been wild.
But today's nice.
Today is nice,
Yeah.
yes.
All right.
So this is podcast 80.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
I know, exactly. And since we were in the studio a week and a half ago,
Right.
we've had a lot of adventures.
We've been traveling.
We've been traveling. We were on the road again.
Yes.
And we were all the way up to Kingston, Ontario.
Right.
And Troy, New York.
Yes.
Also did a little time traveling.
Wow. Well, why were we there?
Yes. Maybe late 19th century.
Okay.
So much to talk about today.
Yep.
So with no further ado, let's talk about what we hope to cover today.
Let's get to it.
Yes. We're going to talk about Troy, New York,
Uh-huh.
and on-location filming for Gilded Age Season 4.
So exciting.
Oh, it really was. A return visit to the Whistling Kettle Tea Room.
Right.
Dare I say it, for Earl Grey.
Okay.
And our trip to Kingston, Ontario.
Very good.
But first,
All right.
tea.
Okay.
So today we are trying German breakfast tea from the Whistling Kettle.
So does every European country have a breakfast tea?
You know what? That's a good point, because this was new to me.
Yes.
Very familiar with the three biggies.
Right. Right.
English, Irish, and Scottish
Yes,
breakfast
uh-huh.
tea. They're usually very hearty.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and this was sold at the Whistling Kettle. I was like,
Yeah.
well, that's different.
Uh-huh.
And all I really found at their store and on their website was that it was just a strong
Right.
tea. They wanted a really strong tea.
Right.
This is it's just black tea from India.
Right. Right.
So what do you think of this?
It is very strong. I think checking my flavor wheel. This is the closest I can come up with is like a very like a dark wood aroma and taste, and it's got a very stringent finish.
Yes. Yes,
and,
it does.
And so I would definitely it would just be something to have with breakfast. As my want, I would have milk and a bit of sugar, or maybe some honey in this to kind of tone down the aftertaste a bit.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up, because
Yeah.
that's another descriptor
Right.
of this tea, is that it goes great with additions, milk
Right.
and sugar.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's probably what you'd want to add to it.
Right.
I love your description, kind of that woody and
Yeah.
definitely astringent.
Right.
No real florals or
No.
citrusy.
It's very German.
It is very German,
Okay.
yes. So, as I mentioned, I purchased this at the Whistling Kettle when we were in Troy, New York.
Right.
And we drove from Kingston, Ontario to Troy, New York.
Right.
It's a relatively quick trip, about
Right.
a half a day.
Sure.
4 hours, maybe 5 if you don't take the Thousand Island Bridge.
You don't take the obvious bridge.
Right.
Yeah.
That was one we skipped
Yeah.
at my request.
Yeah.
Because when we were telling people we were going over,
Right.
they were a few people were going, "How do you feel about that Thousand Island Bridge?"
Yeah.
And I don't like bridges
No,
to
you're
begin
you're
with.
not a fan.
No, so when they were raising that question, I thought, "Oh," so I looked it up. It's 8.5 miles
Yeah.
long.
Right.
Not so bad.
There's a lot of islands to go over.
There are a lot of islands to go over if
Right.
it's straight up and
Yeah.
flat and
Uh-huh.
not very high. But when I looked at the pictures, it kind of looked like a roller coaster.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah. Which I would enjoy.
you would. So we went maybe 45 minutes out of our
Yeah.
way. So anyway,
Yeah.
this is it's still a shorter trip than from going to Detroit
Right.
to Troy.
But
so
we made it.
we did.
That's right.
So before we go to New York, let's talk a little bit about Kingston.
Right.
So we went there to visit extended family,
Uh-huh.
and it was a wonderful trip. You have lifelong memories.
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So my mom is Canadian, and so I've got still have some aunts there and cousins, and
Right.
and so we try to make it a point to make the effort go up. It's always a great visit, and we always have a great time, and And so lately we've been choosing to stay more in the downtown Kingston area, which is something I didn't necessarily do a whole lot as a kid. We were more out in the country fishing and whatnot. So, so it's actually kind of a new experience for me to kind of get down. We stay at a great hotel right on the harbor front. And, it's very walkable and yeah, go ahead.
So no, I was going to say you're right, because my experience of Kingston was similar to yours, because I've been going up as long as we've been married.
Right.
And our kids went up too.
Sure.
But mostly we stayed up more in the lake region where we'd stay at the cabins and which was very nice. But exploring Kingston is really wonderful.
It's been a lot of fun.
So this area is, I think of Kingston as sort of a small, big town.
Right. Well, there's a lot of history. So it's it commands a strategic part of Lake Ontario, and there are some kind of right across the sound from where our hotel is the barracks to Fort Henry.
Yes.
And there's a lot of military, also a lot of prisons there. I think that's a major industry there, oddly enough. And but yeah, so they have these great old limestone buildings that have been there for 200 years.
Right.
And which could be stand-in for some other show.
You're right.
Right.
Talking about filming for period pieces.
Right.
But when we were, actually, we did hear the mysteries.
Murdoch Mysteries. You're right. Murdoch Mysteries were filmed there. That was a big thing.
Yeah,
so now we have to watch.
Yes, now we do.
Yeah.
So when we were down at at our hotel, it's on the waterfront, walking distance to town. So we took a few walking trips, and we found out that our favorite tea room in Kingston had just recently
retired.
Yes, they closed down. And they just closed down in the end of May, so we just missed them by a week or two.
Right.
And we went back and we talked to the owner of the gallery in that Martello Alley.
Right.
And he told us too, he was very sad that it was going, and hoping that another similar venue will open up.
Right.
And what was unique about this delightfully different tea room was it had a small. It's basically inside. It's a small tea room, but they extended their footprint by having this outside patio, which the owner of the art gallery told us it really belongs to him.
Right.
But he gave it to her rent-free because it brought traffic in.
Yep.
And it's just beautiful.
Yeah. So I would describe it. It's in our travels. I mean, this is it's fairly unique. I would think of it as kind of a courtyard. So you've got the storefronts. Yes. And all the businesses, and then you have these little walk-ins that are kind of surrounded, and it's just we'll see the pictures. It was just super cute.
Yes.
And this is really nicely decorated, very lot of bright colors and that sort of thing. So,
right.
But it is a kind of a unique, and there's a couple of these similar, kind of down the way.
Right.
But this is the one that's kind of done up like this.
Right. So we do hope they do get another tea room.
Right.
But we do have the pictures. So if you want to show those,
right.
Chris.
Okay. Yeah. Oops. Let's try not to get hung up here. Okay. Here we go. All right. So
I think the first picture is Martello Alley.
Martello Alley. So that's with the little window where you get your tea.
Right. So it shows you the bright colors, the flowers, so pretty. Okay. The next one is where we are having tea with your aunts, the two, and your cousin.
Right.
Those are among some of the people we visited this time.
Right.
This was back a few years ago.
Right.
And then the final picture is you with a tray.
Yeah.
And that was another unique feature of this, because if you sat out on the patio, you had to get your tea fare on a tray that they would hand to you outside the window.
Yes.
And you were able to lift that. It can be a little heavy.
Yeah.
All right.
We did okay.
We did. All right.
All right, we're back.
So we will be back next year. We'll report if they do get another tea room. We're hoping.
Uh-huh.
But even though the tea room was closed, I did purchase some tea in Kingston.
Yes.
Yeah. I purchased it at this store called Cook's.
Right.
But as we mentioned, that Kingston is just this kind of artsy,
Right.
crafty
Yep.
town, lots of boutiques.
I should mention, like, Queen's University is there.
Oh, right.
So it's just a lot of, so it'll skew younger and kind of the hipsters.
Yes, yes. And it has wonderful restaurants.
Right.
Olivia, one of our favorites.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The best carbonara I have had,
Oh, boy.
other than when we were in Italy,
Yes.
and yours.
Wow.
And I am making
That's a bold statement.
a request for
Okay.
more of your
All right.
wonderful carbonara.
We'll see what we can do.
Okay.
You might have an in with a chef. I don't know.
All right, thank you.
All right.
So it's got nice boutiques, a bookstore. It has a dollar store
Yep.
in case somebody forgets their socks.
Yes.
And I'm going to put this out there.
Yes.
I purchased them. They weren't that comfortable.
Are you saying your socks suck?
I say maybe you get what you pay for.
Okay.
But it was convenient. I'm really grateful that they were there.
That's right.
Okay. But they have this really fine food emporium called Cook's.
Right.
And it's spelled Cookes.
Right.
And it has everything, gourmet food,
Yep.
all kinds of items that, if for a gourmet chef like you,
Uh-huh.
but even if you're fixing ordinary stuff, but they
Right.
have everything there.
Right.
So a little backstory on this.
Sure.
This was originally, it was built in 1865 in Kingston.
Right.
And it was called the Italian Warehouse.
Okay.
Inspired by some store in England.
Okay.
And yeah. And so in 1910, Hugh Cook
Okay.
starts working there for the second owners.
Right.
Hudson's brothers.
Right.
The Hudson brothers, you can still see their name
Right.
in stained glass. It's on a pane above the front door.
Right.
Still there today.
Nice.
Okay. Then in 1924, Hugh Cook buys the
Right.
business and renames it Cook.
All right.
And that it's been with the family ever since, the
Okay.
Cook family.
Right.
And you may say, Cook,
Yeah.
what an apt name for a
Yes.
store.
Yes.
It's
There's-
also,
There's probably a word for that.
there is aptronym.
Okay.
Aptronym.
Okay.
Say that.
Aptronym. It doesn't roll off the
No,
tongue.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
But this is a fun word because it describes when your surname
Yeah.
matches well with your business.
Your job.
Right. So
Your name is your job, and your job is your name.
exactly. John Hunter.
Yeah.
He was a hunter.
Right.
There's a gentleman, Ian Bishop,
Right.
who is an English bishop.
Okay.
Then we have Larry Speaks.
Okay.
He was Ronald Reagan's press secretary.
Wow.
What a cool name.
It is.
For that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So, you know what, though? That was sort of a tangent.
Okay.
Getting back, I did buy some tea.
Yes.
And I bought it at Cook's
Right.
at the recommendation of one of the folks who works there.
Right.
And we're going to have that in a future podcast.
Great.
Okay. So, from there,
Yes.
we did go to Troy, New York.
Yes.
And this was our second trip to Troy.
Right.
Chris, you and I had been there 2 years ago.
Right.
We went with our son Matt and daughter-in-law Jenna.
And this is upstate New York.
Correct. It's
Or is it called the capital?
the capital region,
Yeah, okay.
Albany, Schenectady,
Yeah.
and Troy.
Right.
Beautiful area.
Right.
And we went there because they were, this is where they were filming Gilded Age.
Right.
When we went there 2 years ago, already had filmed season 1 and season 2.
Right.
When we were there, they were getting ready to film season 3 later on in the summer.
Sure.
We were there
Yeah.
about the time now, 2 years ago. So, as we have mentioned before, this area works great for 19th century Manhattan.
Right.
You know, the architecture.
Yeah,
And
uh-huh.
it's smaller, so it's easier to
Yeah.
get stuff done. But the tour started at the Hart Cluett Museum.
Right.
And you'll see this home in some of the scenes.
Right.
And this is where we met Catherine Sheehan.
Right.
She's not only the executive director of the museum, but she's also the county area historian.
Okay.
And she served as a consultant
Right.
for Gilded Age.
Yeah. So yeah, when we were there, I got a kick out of her talking about she's on the hunt. She's very vigilant about anachronisms.
Yes. Yes.
So which is something that if you're filming a period piece, something that does not belong in that time.
Right.
So she's kind of like she'll throw a penalty and say don't do that.
Right.
Sort of thing. So she had some kind of fun stories.
She did, and one of the ones was carriage stones.
Right.
Because those would have been at the end of somebody's yard for when people were stepping out of the carriage, especially ladies, and it would serve as a step.
Yeah.
She told the crew that, oh, no, we don't need that. They didn't have it.
Right.
She looked it up and found it.
Yeah.
And actually, when I was down in Detroit touring some of those older homes, we found that one of the homes that we toured had a carriage stone.
Yeah. So this would be of course, this is before roads were regularly paved.
Right. Yes.
Horses are notoriously untidy. With their droppings and stuff kind of run off to the side of the road. So if you're a lady with dainty shoes, you really don't want to be stepping where you shouldn't be stepping.
Great point.
All right.
Great point. So when I had heard a few months ago, I saw on some of the online forums and media that Gilded Age was going to be back filming in this area around the time we'd be in Kingston.
Right.
I thought, perhaps that's a bit of serendipity.
Okay, here we go again.
And at Barb's Tea Service, we like to spell serendipity, the last syllable, TEA.
Okay.
Doesn't make much difference when you're talking, but I thought I'd bring it up.
But you like to do it, and therefore you do it.
I do it, right.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Okay, so I reached out to Catherine.
Right.
And I told her when we were going to be up in Kingston,
Yeah.
I said, does this jive? And she said, they're currently filming. She said it's a 3-week stint up here.
Right.
The museum's closed while they're filming.
Right.
But the last week they're here should coincide with the time you're planning on visiting. So that's all we needed to hear.
Yeah. I guess what was it, the lady that somebody had mentioned there? So Cynthia Nixon and Christine Bransky were there the week before filming out exterior shots.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we learned at the Whistling Kettle.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we missed some of the bigger known stars.
Right.
But we did get in some.
Right.
So after we left Kingston, we go to Troy, New York, and I'm excited. But as we drive into town, I was a little concerned because I saw people
they were hosing down the road, clearing what was obviously, the dirt covering. They again for doing the exterior shots and carriages and whatnot, and so they had all that soil or that sand or whatever it is kind of bagged up, and they just got like hosing the road down.
And they had the shovels, and I remember from our tour, one of the guides had mentioned that everything is covered with this dirt, the roads, and that they were a little concerned that they would still be living with some of this, some of the remnants for a while, like when you get a live Christmas tree.
Yeah, I know.
And you're picking up the needles in June or July.
Right.
That's what they kind of thought, like, we're still going to be dealing with this dirt.
Right.
Said not at all.
Right.
It was just like magic.
Yeah. So we got to see that, kind of how they deal with that. So
yes.
They're very meticulous about that.
Yeah. So that was kind of interesting, but I panicked a bit because I thought maybe they're
wrapping up. They're going to leave us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when we checked into our hotel, I asked the front desk rep.
You were pumping all the locals.
I was.
For inside information.
Yes. And I said, did you know that Gilded Age is filming here?
Yeah.
And she smiled and she said, of course.
Yes. Yeah.
So my follow-up question, do you know if they're still filming?
Yeah.
And she said, I believe they are.
Yeah.
So, okay, feeling a little bit better. We go check into our room and then we go down to town to Whistling Kettle.
Yes.
And that's where I'm wearing my Earl Grey baseball cap.
Right.
And we go in and our server says immediately, I bet I know what you want. And
she was astute.
She was. And of course I am team Earl Grey, but they had this thing that they were specialty for the season.
Right.
It's a cold brew and it was Earl Grey matcha latte.
Yeah, I had a little taste. It was pretty good.
It was fantastic. Yeah. And she said that they had sampled different syrups and flavorings, and this one was the best.
Yeah.
They did a whole big thing, and it was great.
Yep.
And we do have, we have a picture.
Cue up a couple here.
Yep.
Right.
So I had that. So I stuck with my Earl Grey matcha, and then you had the traditional Arnold Palmer.
Hang on a second.
Both which were great.
What are we doing here? A second here. Okay. All right. So I'm bringing up. Okay. There's Lady Earl Grey sitting there with her matcha.
All right. And then the next picture.
All right.
This is
some other guy.
Yeah.
There we go.
With your Arnold Palmer, which was
it was
very
good.
refreshing.
Right, very good.
Okay.
All right.
So
we're back.
Back to pumping people for Gilded Age information.
Right.
So she was the one that told us about Cynthia Nixon and Christine.
Oh yeah.
Yes, but she said she goes, I think they're still filming tomorrow.
Sure.
And they haven't completely left. Yep. So okay, I could rest easy.
Right.
But we got up early the next morning and we camped out on 2nd Street across from the Hart Cluett Museum.
Right.
And we were lucky enough to see 2 scenes being filmed.
Right. Yeah.
And you know that you hear people say, "Oh, it's a lot of hurry up and wait."
Sure.
Oh my gosh, was that true?
Yeah.
So, So I thought the ratio was pretty much an hour and a half, to maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think one scene was like 2 minutes.
Right.
Okay, so the first scene was on 2nd Street.
Right.
And it was what was you're going to see in the filming or in the final production. You're going to see it as St. Denis Hotel.
Right.
It's a building they mocked up.
Right.
And they had outdoor kind of cafe patio chairs, and they had these sort of like everyday people, working class people dressed, and a bunch of suits, guys in suits.
Right.
And they were approaching these people at the outdoor patio, and you found out that they were.
I just overheard somebody. So the guys in the suits and the foreboding mustaches were Pinkerton men.
Yes. All right. So we see them walk down the street to the end of the corner and walk into what is a restaurant or a bar.
Right.
Then we got to see the next scene.
Yes.
And here we have another where it was about an hour and a half of setup.
Yeah.
So this was between the alley between Hart Cluett and another building.
And you hung in there.
I did. Oh my gosh. I was at the edge of my seat on edge of the curb.
Yeah.
And the where they were filming was an alleyway, but it's divided. So there's this kind of iron metal fence.
Yeah.
That's so each building had its own little walkway.
Right.
Okay, so the one walkway, the crew is building tracks.
Right. Yeah.
For a dolly.
Right.
Where the
for a tracking shot.
Right.
To follow them walking back and forth.
Right. So the camera guy can sit there and they move them back and forth. So that took some time. Then they had, and I'm going to do some trash talking here.
Okay.
So they had a guy from the crew.
Yeah.
Come out in a big bag of rumpled paper.
Yeah.
And he's just throwing it around randomly to make it look like
a litter. He's
trash.
Literally littering.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
And then another guy got up on the ladder and he's adjusting. Yeah. They have a clothesline.
Yeah.
Old timey.
Yeah.
Somebody's
knickers.
Yes. Okay. So we're watching this and then they had the makeup artists, and they were told to come back around the alley to meet up the actors for a little bit of a touch-up.
Right.
Then they have their crew and the camera guy going back and forth.
Yeah.
Setting up, staging.
Right. Yeah.
Over and over and over again. Finally, they bring in the actors.
Right.
One suit, one working class guy.
Right.
And then they have them go through the motions a few more times.
Right.
Finally, what do we hear? Action.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. So they follow these 2 guys. Now we've got a clip.
Yeah.
It's about 25 seconds.
Yeah, right.
It may or may not have sound.
Yeah, this is the first for Barb's Tea Service podcast where we're trying to include some video here, so we'll see how it goes. All right. Oh, this is all right. Okay, we're rolling.
Okay.
Okay. 10 seconds. Okay, we're back to us.
Okay, so
Yeah.
That seemingly unremarkable clip.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet when we see it, it's going to be pretty cool. But that wasn't the end.
Right.
They did at least six more of those.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And we'd hear this reset,
Right.
reset.
Yeah.
Called, and they'd be fixing it all over again.
Yeah.
So it was incredible to witness.
Adjusting the litter.
Right. Right. And then we've got a clip, and this one is just me in front of when they were setting it up. I don't know if we want to show this.
Yeah, well, sure. Why not?
All right.
Again, there may or may not be sound, but you can, when the clip is done, you can talk about what you talked about.
Exactly.
We'll figure this out
at
some point. And that was all right.
Hi, this is Barb Gully from
That's
Barbs
rolling.
Tea Service. Spilling the tea. We are on location in Troy, New York. They're filming the Gilded right behind us. We've been here for about an hour, and we've watched them go back and forth down the alley. So pretty exciting, and we will bring more, but this is amazing. Stay tuned, please.
All right, and we're back.
Okay, so again, that was just, I was so excited to be part of that. We cannot wait. Season 4 is supposed to be coming the end of this year or early beginning of next year, 2027. And I'm hoping that perhaps we get a glimpse of a time traveler.
Yeah.
Baseball cap with Earl Grey on it.
Very
good. So, all right. So we've got about 5 minutes
Well,
left.
actually, I was. Well, we're gonna give 3 minutes.
Oh, 3 minutes.
3
Okay.
minutes. Okay.
All right. So I guess what I want to mention is a few things. If you want to know more about this, this exciting scene,
at least to us.
yes, it's in this week's blog.
Right.
Also, I want to mention next week, very special.
Yeah.
We have some special guests.
Yes.
Lake Orion's own Roses of Silverbell
Right.
owners, Kevin and Bonnie West, are going to be here.
Right.
And they have this wonderful antique store.
Right.
Also sell their own blend of honey and tea.
Yes.
So very excited to have us join.
Very good.
And then I also want to mention that one thing we've been watching,
Yes.
speaking of period pieces, The Other Bennett Sister.
Okay.
We talked about that when the book was, we read the book last year, did a book review. We knew that it was coming out.
Right.
So I think we've got 2 more episodes.
I think so.
So we are going to be reporting on how we like it. But so far,
yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good.
All right.
Okay. So with 2 minutes, one thing I also wanted to mention, I've been talking a lot about my tea etiquette.
Yes.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Which you call is lovingly referred to as a doorstop.
Yeah.
So they have we're going to talk about being a great conversationalist.
Okay.
Next
All right.
2 podcasts from now.
Okay. Can't wait.
Yeah. And Chris, you're scintillating.
Yeah.
But we have some
you.
tips for some people. Maybe it doesn't come naturally.
Right.
But one thing they talk about when you're hosting a dinner party, always make sure that you're talking to the person on either side of you.
Yeah.
Don't want to leave anybody unattended to.
Yeah. You go back and you say, "What's up? What's up?"
But Mary Bennett,
Yes.
she provided us a great lesson
Yes.
in being a good person on handling a conversation at a dinner party, which we will talk about. That's a teaser for an upcoming podcast.
Can't wait.
All right. So
Okay.
I think I hear that sound.
All right.
All right. We want to thank On TV Studios for allowing us to be here. All their great help, helping us deal with some introducing new technology.
Yes.
And I want to thank, as always, my co-host and arm candy, Chris Gully.
Here we are.
And as we like to say at Barb's Tea Service, please stay tuned.
Nice. Okay.